and shit.
You lose me a little there. I can firmly be down with a Gigantopithecus. Maybe didn't go. A form of Gigantopithecus may still be lurking around. I can get down with that.
But them being interdimensional beings is a bit
you lose me, or alien, or whatever. That's where you lose me.
It's cool though.
If your name was Sky and you wore beads, yes, I guess.
I mean, it's a cool thought.
Anyway, where was I at? At least one soldier from a different unit has reported online and in cryptid books claimed that they did turn in a hair sample and a plaster footprint to the military higher-ups. He said it was sent to Saigon for analysis and never mentioned again.
How the f*** would they do it in Saigon?
Well, that's probably where the brass was. No military lab reports.
The brass was a walk.
Were ever released, documents or photos, anything. Nothing has ever been released about this from the
because it probably doesn't exist anymore if it ever happened, if it was ever a thing.
Now, there were unofficial orders to stay quiet. Some veterans said that they were discouraged from filing reports or told, like I said, you shot monkeys. You're not going to write that up.
PETA's going to have a field day.
Others said their CEOs mocked them or warned them off the topic. Now,
so like the giant of Kandahar.
If you remember our episode, the Mount St. Helens Bigfoot, where there is that theory that there is some sort of, I don't want, lack of a better word, I don't remember exact treaty between the U.S. or the government and these Bigfoots.
Yeah,
there were reports of soldiers going in and when Mount St. Helens blew and removing bodies of Bigfoots, basically.
Yeah,
and I believe one was even seen alive. Was seen in the back of a truck, talking with a higher up.
He's got one of those Mylar blankets on, sipping hot cocoa.
So, if you believe that story, then there could be something to this with people higher up in the military ranks would probably have some sort of knowledge of this, if it is a treaty or whatever the hell it is. Like I said, I'm not 100% behind this, but it does kind of make sense.
I can't say I'm 100% behind this U.S. government treaty with Bigfoot.
Now, the next thing is what I can get behind. I can be down with this shit. Gigantopithecus. What if rock apes weren't hallucinations, but survivors of something ancient?
Which is the most likely scenario for any of these Bigfoot stories.
Gigantopithecus was a massive ape-like creature that lived in Southeast Asia, estimated to have gone extinct around 100,000 to 300,000 years ago.
Which is not that long ago.
No, in the time span of the Earth, not that long ago. Fossil remains were found in China, Vietnam, Thailand, including the caves near where the rock ape sightings have taken place, and this...
Maybe it was a residual haunting of Gigantopithecus.
Yeah. Based on fossilized jaw bones and teeth, scientists estimate that Gigantopithecus was upward of 10 feet tall, over 1,000 pounds, likely ground-dwelling herbivore, but very elusive. I have a problem, though. How can looking at a few jaw bones and teeth can you tell that the was elusive? I can get herbivore and all that. I have people.
You probably go off of signs of injury and
on a tooth.
Yeah, and jawbones and shit. They look. It's just like how they fucking can hypothesize on how mummified cavemen were killed.
Educated guess.
Well, yeah, but you can look at shit like that, and and you're like, if you've never found one that had some type of traumatic injury, pretty good chance that it wasn't getting in many altercations.
Well, maybe it was just a docile. It wasn't. It was like Harry from.
I don't think docile really plays in the primate world if you think about it, though.
But they have no full skeletons have ever been found. They're just looking at
because they're all still alive.
Looking at a jawbone, a couple jawbones, a couple molars. Oh, this is elusive. No, because you think a creature like this would be elusive. So you're taking your scientific evidence of looking at something and saying it's elusive because that's what you believe. Or
you can't find any signs of injury on it or other specimens of creatures found in that area.
I will buy your injury if we had a full skeleton, looking at one full skeleton of one full
actual animal. And the crazy thing is, we very well might. They just don't know it.
I guess.
Like most of that shit, most prehistoric creatures that we have like bones of and shit like that, most of them are not complete. You know what I mean? Like T-Rex was kind of pieced together for like 100 years until they filled in the blanks.
I don't even think most of the bone, it's all, and some of it's not even bone. Isn't some of those skeletons plaster? They
same thing.
Yeah. Okay. Anyway,
just come with sawdust in it.
There is a Vietnamese scientist named Tran Hong Viets.
One day late.
He did do some research into the
Tran Hong
Viet. He did do some research into the Bigfoot phenomena, or the Guardians, or whatever you want to call it.
I bet he did.
He's best known for his work in biology and zoology, formerly a deputy director of the Center for Environmental and Biological Resources in Hanoi.
I'm sure that does a lot of good for everybody. I'm sure that they don't have any problem getting anything done as a in the province of Hanoi of biology. Like, nobody give f. Everybody dies starvation. You want to find the capitillas and shit. You Tran Hong.
He became one of the only researchers in Vietnam to take reports of Bigfoot sightings seriously from a scientific perspective.
You Tran
Which is
Hong.
well, let's be honest, this is what we need. We need scientists to look at it scientifically, just not, do actual research, just not.
That was very well said.
Yeah.
We need scientists to look at it scientifically.